Fans for the JV race. Welcome back for the JV race of the 60th Bigland Bowl. 9:36 start time. The annual men's lightweight crew showdown between Harvard, Dartmouth, and MIT. I am Spencer Lee, class of '95 at Harvard. Just finished an exciting varsity boat race with Harvard coming in first, MIT in second, and Dartmouth in third. Harvard winning by open water, and MIT with about 4 or 5 seats over Dartmouth in a very competitive race. Weather conditions here on the Charles River very similar to the men's varsity boat race, in the low 50s, and a slight wind coming out of the west northwest. So it's a bit of a headwind for the crews as they make their way up the Charles to the finish line. And fortunately, the rain has held off, allowing for our broadcast this morning, and it is time for more racing. We've got the 3 crews getting lined up and in position with the stake boats for the start. On the Cambridge side of the river, we have MIT getting lined up. On the on the Boston side of the river, we have MIT getting lined up. On the Cambridge side of the river is Dartmouth, and in the middle is Harvard. Harvard and Dartmouth both in position. MIT just getting in position now with the starters, providing last-minute instructions and helping the crews get lined up the river. Again, we've been very early in our season with that long winter. Crews just getting back on the water very recently. Dartmouth getting back on the water on their home river only about a week and a half ago. So lots of progress being made by these crews very early in the season. And hard to tell what these early season results mean so far. But all these crews have been progressing rapidly. All their coaches telling me that virtually every time out on the water, the guys are getting faster and they are getting better. So chemistry and time on the water are starting to pay big dividends to complement a full load of work, dry land work over the winter. All crews in that first race looked plenty strong, but long season yet to go. And the Ivies this year, certainly in the first varsity boat, very, very competitive. Boats are lined up. Boats are lined up. Crews are sitting at the catch, making final adjustments here. I get MIT on the near side. Flag is up. Boats are lined up. Flag is up on the launch on the near side, indicating alignment. Starter behind giving final instructions. And the countdown has started. And the boats are off. Second varsity race in the Bigland Bowl. And it's a clean start. Crews coming off the water. Harvard coming out in the low 40s. And we do have a bit of a headwind as we go up the Charles here. Slightly, with Dartmouth and MIT very close to each other, but certainly a very competitive race. All the coaches feeling like their crews are generating significantly more speed every time they're on the water, so it'll be very interesting to see how this pans out. Crews are starting to settle in here. Rowing a 36. Looks like they're rowing a 36 here as they get close to about 400 meters in. And Harvard's still out in the lead. Dartmouth very, very close. An interesting result here early, as Delaware had a significant loss last week. Dartmouth had a significant loss to Delaware. Now it looks like Dartmouth has actually pulled out in front of Harvard. MIT in third, but they're all neck and neck at this point. Still hard to tell. But Sean Healy does like what he's seen out of this JV boat for his Dartmouth crew. He considers these guys very, very aggressive, a group that really loves to race, and we're seeing it here very early on as they are giving the Harvard crew definitely a run for its money. And getting close to the 750 mark, the crews have settled into about a 36, and it's Harvard and Dartmouth neck and neck, and with about 4 or 5 seats of open water on MIT. And the MIT squad is a very young squad with 5 freshmen in this boat. Coach Oliver thinks this boat is progressing quite well, and that their biggest asset is probably just their raw physical talent. He considers these guys a very strong crew, strong as any crew out there, and his focus will be on getting this crew to gel and get the chemistry built up and generate a lot more speed as the season progresses. And we are approaching the 1,000 meter mark. We're at about 900. Harvard rowing a 37 as we're getting close to the 1,000 meter mark, and Dartmouth has pulled out significantly. No, I'm sorry. Harvard has pulled out significantly on Dartmouth. There is possibly a little bit of overlap here, and that is that second varsity boat in the far lane. And Dartmouth one boat in from that. Third boat coming in of Harvard here, and then the MIT boat. So that is that JV boat all the way over there on the Cambridge side of the river, and they have, it looks like, at least a seat of open water, maybe a little more. And that third varsity boat also pushing very hard, very strong cadence going on. And this Harvard's second varsity boat is a mix mainly of juniors and sophomores. Very good mix of experience, and now that these lineups have settled down for Coach Bartman, he's looking for these guys to generate speed more consistently, and certainly they are generating some good speed today, getting close to maybe a full boat length of open water over Dartmouth here, approaching the 1,300 meter mark. Coach Bartman loves these Harvard guys in the second boat, considers them a group of fighters, very, very aggressive, very, very fast, guys that are always pushing, and he expects these guys to continue to get fast. And the third varsity boat also demonstrating quite a bit of speed, opening up open water on Dartmouth as well. And these guys have just gone through the 1,500 meter mark here. Both Harvard crews out in front, rowing about a 35. Dartmouth rowing about a 36 as they get into the home stretch here at the Bigland Bowl. MIT trying to maintain contact here, rowing a 37. And the margins have continued to open up with the Harvard JV boat now with 2 to 3 boat lengths of open water. That third varsity boat with about a boat length and a half of open water over Dartmouth in second place. And the MIT crew about 2 boat lengths of open water behind as well. And they are now within the last couple hundred meters of this race. The Harvard JV boat rowing a 38 as they come in crisply through the finish line here with about 100 meters to go. Out there in their last 10 strokes here. The advantage over Dartmouth. And the Dartmouth crew coming in here solidly in third place. And the Harvard JV boat has crossed the finish line. The Harvard 3V boat has crossed the finish line. And Dartmouth now crossing the finish line. And that was Dartmouth just across the finish line right now. And here we have MIT across the finish line as well. And that concludes the JV race for the 60th annual Bigland Bowl. Again, your results. Harvard JV boat, first place. The two Harvard boats coming in first and second, Dartmouth in third, and the MIT boat in fourth. Thank you for tuning in to this broadcast of the Ivy League Digital Network.